Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Glad to have you here. My name is Reverend Dr. Pjae Stanley, and it is a joy to be here. It is a true joy. And last week, I talked about the joy in the everyday, about just discovering the power of joy in your life. And I saw this definition of joy, which I resonate with, and it said that joy is not just about happiness. A lot of people think joy is happiness. It's not that. It's a deep-seated sense of well-being and contentment that transcends your situations, your conditions, the circumstances, and you know who you are and that you are the I am. And that is what joy is. Joy is living, knowing that truth about you and about all circumstances. So everything is all right. Not gonna be, it is all right in the moment. The question becomes, as we were talking about in the class this morning, is what is ours to learn? What is ours to learn in this? That's what we talked about last week. This week I want to talk about the sacred season. There's something on me? Is that just you? Okay. People give me little signals like PJ, whatever. So I want to make sure I don't catch it. So it's about the sacred season. So a sacred season, we all know about different things that are sacred seasons. Christmas, Easter, Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah. What is it, Rosh Hashanah? Whatever, how you say it. I always point to her because she's a professor and she knows what I'm trying to say. But I'm not just talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the sacred season that's just a time of introspection, because a lot of times we get those sacred seasons and we're just busy running around, getting things, doing things. But I'm talking about the inward sacred season of your life in which you get to take some time to be introspective, to look at personally what your life looks like. Where is the joy coming from? What is it that matters to you? This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the sacred season. So quite frankly, the sacred season is every day. It is, to me, it's every day because it's a thing that you choose. The sacred season within you is something that you choose to do and to be and to participate with and to partake of. It's your spiritual practice. It's your connection with the one in all things, not just the one divine God, but the divine God in all things, in all circumstances. Where is God? Where is God in that? Because God is always there, always with you. And so for me, that's the sacred season, that every day we're looking at that, and we're looking at how we deepen our faith. And our faith is deepened by having that season, that sacred time with Spirit, and it's of your choosing. I choose to do it all the time. I choose to do it everywhere I go. I choose to do it in everything that I see. And even when my human side starts to go down a human path, and bring it back. Nope, that's not the truth of it. That's not the truth of it. And always recognizing what is the truth. And so I wake up every morning giving thanks. That's how I start my day. I will not put my foot on the floor until I give thanks for having woken up. I didn't have to wake up. I did not have to. Neither did you, but you did. And so we give thanks for another possible day. The whole day is not even given to us. We just woke up. We don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the day, right? But it's okay that we can make plans and we can assume that Spirit, whatever happens, Spirit is going to be with us all the time. So I was talking with my daughter, and I'm always talking with her. She makes me laugh. So she's so funny. And she has a great relationship with Spirit, just like I do. And she talks to Spirit like I do. And so she asks for stuff, and Spirit brings her stuff. And she goes, "What is this? This is not what I asked for. What are you doing, God?" And God's like, "You know what I'm doing. You already know what I'm doing. Stop asking this stupid question." So Spirit just talks to her back and forth, just like Spirit talks to me. So she works for the city of Palmdale. She lives in California. And she's a code enforcement officer, which means whatever the city codes are. You can't paint graffiti on the side, blah, blah, all this kind of stuff. And so there's a gentleman that is a junk man. He has this old broken down big truck, and he goes around and he picks up scraps, and he just does little odd jobs and just does a lot of things around the city. And he's so good at it. He doesn't look like much. I mean, he's like bald, no teeth, but he just gets the job done. So she's always hiring him for doing city work, for getting graffiti off of people's homes, and he uses this particular paint that I think they coined in Los Angeles because they have so much graffiti that it's hard to graffiti over it once you use that paint, but it's very expensive. Anyway, she's talking with him, and he's sharing what's going on with his life, and she's sharing what's going on with hers. And hers is that she's trying to do a business, and she's wanting to, to sell things. She's not a great salesperson, but she's just a really great person. Everybody wants to be around her. So the business that she's in, Mary Kay, she loves it. She's a beautiful girl, and she loves making other women look beautiful. And so she was talking to him about it, and about how she wanted to grow her company, and she needed to meet more people. And he said, oh, I meet people all the time. And I'm always in different buildings. And I'm going to back up. She prayed to Spirit. How do I meet more people? How do I get more people involved in my business? How do I sell more product? That was her prayer. So I need to understand that. So then, now she's in conversation with this gentleman. And he's telling her about how he knows all these places. And does she have her cards? And does she have any kind of information? Because he will take it. And she does. She has these little boxes that talks about what she does and has little information. Her cards are there and all that. He said, just bring them to me. Bring everything you have, and I will drop them. He said, I know a lot of ladies. And he does, because he's the kind of guy that he doesn't really care what he looks like. He goes and talks to everyone and all the ladies. So he is taking all of her stuff and putting it in every city building, every office that he's in, every place he's in, her stuff is going to be. Her stuff is going to be. So what that tells me, back to the talk today, the sacred season. To me, it's sacred because of her relationship with this gentleman. She has no reason. He's not doing anything for her, or he wasn't. He was just someone that was doing great work, and she appreciated who he was and what he did. And she would just stop and talk to him all the time and pass him more work. There was no other reason than that's just how she saw him. But when she prayed, God showed up in the form of this man and is answering her prayers. This is one of the ways I know, and I share with you, and I'm trying to have you understand what I mean when I say that each and every one of us are God. God cannot do the work on this planet without us, all right? God is a spirit. It's an energy. It's a knowing. But the work, the physical work, has to be done by us. So when we're called to do something, we don't need to say, what's this about? Why do I need to do it? Just get up and do it. If you have a relationship with Spirit, if your faith is strong, you know that Spirit's going to guide you and tell you what to do, what's next. Even if it doesn't make any sense, talk to this junk man. I don't even understand. What do you mean? How is a junk man going to help me get women in my business, right? So if you start questioning it, you won't do anything. Don't question it. That's what faith is about. Knowing who you are, knowing who God is to you, knowing that your prayer is answered, and understanding, and you might even just say when you're talking with Spirit, hey, help me recognize that this is from you, because it may look a little strange. But she didn't have to say that. She knew. This is the answer. This is God answering my prayer. So that's what we get to do. This is what the sacred season is about. You deciding, how are you going to show up? Recognizing, to me, every day, right now, it's not about just coming here to Harmony Spiritual Center, what I love. I love you all. I love the things that we do together. That's a beautiful thing. But I also just like going places, anywhere, to the car wash. It doesn't matter, right? Everywhere you go, I know you do it all the time. Everywhere you go, you're meeting people. You're meeting, not people. When you think about it this way, you're meeting God. You're talking to God. If you understand, so it changes how you talk to people. You don't look at somebody and go, oh my God, a junk man. You go, oh God. An individualized expression of love. That's what I'm looking at. And you treat them as such. It's not because you're looking for something from them. It's because you're recognizing that you are one with that person. That's what we do. That's what it means. God is. That's what our sign is. That means we all are. Every person that you meet. I don't care how they're showing up. You show up knowing what you know, because your alchemy changes theirs. Do you understand when you look at somebody with love, they recognize that in you? They recognize when you're judging them. They're recognizing when you're loving them. They're recognizing when you're envious. All the energy that you're putting out, people recognize. People recognize. So just love people. If you look at someone and you're judging them, okay. So what's a judging face look like? That's what I'm judging, right? Like, what the heck is that you got on? Whatever.
Hide it better than that.
You think you can, but you cannot. I'm just made it. She said you can hide it better than that. You cannot. You cannot, because it's not just about the lip thing. It's about the eyes. It's about the eyes and the heart energy. It's the heart energy. We talk to people heart to heart. You don't think we do, but we do. People recognize what you're saying about them from here, not from here, from here. So you think you're doing one thing, but I'm telling you that if they are God and you are God, then we have to be able to speak to each other energy to energy. That's how we do it. And it's nothing about what you're thinking about. Like it's not. I can hide. No, you can't. That's it. You're fooling yourself or attempting to fool yourself. You already know. Even when you say that kind of stuff, you know that's not happening. It's not happening. So the way that you show up with love is to decide to show up as love. You just decide. It's a decision. It's a decision that says, here's the thing that works for me. It's a decision that I make that says, I am no better than you. That's the decision I've made, because we are one. So if you walk around thinking, I am better than you, because what? Because today you have a car, because tomorrow you might not. Because the day you have a house, tomorrow you might not. Because the day you have clothes, tomorrow you might not. Do you understand? Today is today. Tomorrow becomes tomorrow. And we are here together as one. And that's what we get to do. So if you have a home, if you have things, what we get to do is to share that. It's to share that. When it's time for us to do that, and we know when it is, and we just share our love. We share our light, we share our love, and they know that's what we're doing. They know that's what we're doing. I wanted to tell you another story about a friend of mine. She watches all the time, and I've talked with her about, she's who I visited when I was traveling to Asia. And she's the organizer. She's the organizer. There's people coming, 50, 100 people coming from all over the world to Thailand for us to do an annual fundraiser for the kids in Phuket. So she's the one that just does, she keeps all these little people running around doing all the little exciting things. She keeps it all together. We put on a show. She puts keeps the musicians together. If you ever work with musicians, you know what that's like. Okay? And I'm one of them. Okay? So we all have our own ideas and this and that. Anyway, she does all of that, and she's moved here. Now, here meaning to the U.S. She lives in Tennessee. They moved to Thailand from Africa. They moved to here, to Tennessee, from Thailand. So she's already done this. She's already picked up her whole family. She has a son and a husband. So she picks them up. She says, this is where we're going. This is the time for us to move, and we're going here. That's what she does. She has a great relationship with Spirit. She just prays and says, what are we doing next? She feels when the time is up in a place and where it's time to go. But when you're in the middle of something, that's when you're worried, right? Because you're looking at circumstances. You're looking at the house you're in. You're looking at the cash that's in your bank. You're looking at all the conditions. And we all do this. This is why, again, this talk is about what have we done before? Always looking at your history. Look at your history. When you're worried about today, look at your history. Spirit has always brought you through in a way you can't imagine, in a beautiful way you can't imagine. So this is what we do for one another. If we've already had this experience with Spirit, and each and every one of you, if you're here today breathing and you're clothed and you got a car to drive or a way to get here, you have been blessed. So you already know what Spirit's like. You already know how that works. So if you know that, then you get to be a partner in believing for those who are not believing right now. For whatever reason, their circumstances are such that they've forgotten who they are. And you get to remind them. And that's what I get to do with my friend. I get to remind her, you've already been here. You've already done this. Spirit has already brought you here and done wonderful things for you so far. Why would Spirit bring you someplace to drop you off? That's never going to happen. It may not be unfolding the way you thought it was going to unfold, but it will unfold beautifully. So your history of faith, that's what's going to get you through to the next thing you need to do, to the next thing you need to believe. And you all know that I'm not just talking about stories out there, that everything that I do, it's always a leap of faith. And I don't like using that word because it's not a leap. It's just a step towards that, just holding to faith, to knowing who God is, to knowing what God is in your life. And we know this because we talk and pray and speak with God every single day. It's not a one-off. If you wait until you're in trouble, it's harder to hear. It's not hard for God to hear, hard for you to hear because you're not used to it. So just be in the practice of just praying and meditating every single day. It doesn't have to be hours-long prayer on your knees. I remember when I was young, and I went to a fundamental Baptist church, beautiful place, loved the music, all kinds of great things. But they said several things, but this one particular thing that I never understood. And it said, number one, pray ceaselessly, and that you always had to be on your knees when you prayed. Now, how does that work? Right? Like, how am I going to be crawling around on my knees all day? I could never understand that. So what I now know is that a prayer is a prayer. I can be standing here while I'm talking to you and praying, God, don't let me mix this up. Let me say something good. You know what I mean? I can be praying while I'm talking to you. So it's not about those things. It's not about being on your knees. It's about just calling out, just saying, I need your help here. I don't even have to necessarily speak. I'll do something because I'll share this story, so I can tell the whole story, just a little piece of it. But I don't know if you guys are like this, but most humans are. When you're tired, you're not at your best. It's hard to be at your best when you are tired. You're not thinking straight, you're tired, all of this. And so I can tell when I'm tired by the way my thoughts go in my head. I'll be upset about stupid stuff. What's that she's got on? Why is he looking? How come he didn't laugh at that joke? That was a funny joke. How come he didn't laugh at that? So I can, right? So I can tell by the thoughts that are going through my head, you are tired. You need to go home and lay down before you say something stupid. Sometimes it's too late when I do say something stupid. And then I have to apologize, right? It's okay. It's not who you are in total, right? And so we just have to, that's how you know. So God, when you're looking at people, if you're the God, and you're individualized expression, you're not going to be wanting to say or think negative things about people. It's not who you are. It's not who you are in total. It's not who you are on the whole, on the main. So if you find yourself doing that, just go take a nap. Or just, you know what I mean? Just take yourself out of the picture for now. You say, you know what, I'm going to excuse myself. I'll catch you later. And just do that. Do that because you are an individualized expression of God. You are love. Never forget that. No matter what your human side is doing at any given point, who you actually are is God incarnate. You are love, and that is your main thing to be. If you are not being that, something's wrong. Shut it down, take a nap, pray, whatever it is, and come back to your God self. That's all we have to do. That's what we're here to do. So I just wanted to remind you that you've already done so many things. You already have been through sacred seasons where Spirit has brought you through from one thing to the next and will continue. Spirit doesn't say, well, you've had 10 things, I'm done. You don't have any more. You can do 10 times 10,000 times 100,000 times that you go, even with the same thing. Like I know I talked about this before, I didn't quite get that. So yeah, okay. So maybe you're just a hardhead and it takes some time to get the, right? I know I am, in certain things. It just takes a while. That's okay. Spirit doesn't get upset as long as you keep asking for help, because Spirit is not going to come if you don't ask. It's not going to happen. That's a thing. That's what prayer is about. Is you asking, you recognizing, you saying, I need you. I want you to come into my life. I want you to help me with this. That's what prayer is about. Okay? So, meditation is listening. And so you don't have to be sitting in the bed and to meditate. All you got to do is be quiet and hear. Just listen. Meditating is listening. Prayer is talking. Okay, just listen. So if you ask, Lord, you're on the go and you say, oh, Spirit, I'm starting to see some ugly things. I feel really tired. Spirit will tell me, yeah, you are tired. Go home. Go lay down. Go home. Stop it. Stop it. Spirit will tell me that right. Stop it right now. Okay. All right. You're right. You're right. So that's what we're already connected. We're here because we want to be around. We want to know more. We want to understand more. We know who we are, and we want to be that our whole lives. Our whole lives. And we already know it. You already have the experience with God. Just use your experience. Look back on something that's happened that you know Spirit has brought you through. Spirit will do the same thing for you now. Will always do it. One of the things that I want to do let you know is that one of the things that we get hooked up with is when we pray, we want to know the how. How is this going to work? Not, listen to me now. The how, write this down, write it on your brain. The how is not your business. Not your business. Because if it was, you'd already be doing it by now. You'd already have it done, yeah? So the how is not your business. That is for Spirit to show you how. And Spirit will bring you a junk man. You don't know anything. Why would this junk man know anything about beautiful women? But he did. You understand? So the how, because Spirit is using all of his people, all of her people, however you see God, all of the people of God could get the job done. So everyone you see could get the job done for you and with you. It's a particular person that's doing something that Spirit's going to have come talk with you. If that person is a person of faith. If not, Spirit will use another person of faith. Okay? So when Spirit's telling you to do something, he may be asking you to help another person who needs a prayer answered. And sometimes he's telling someone else to come talk to you because you need a prayer answered. Okay? That's how it works. So when you hear something from God, do that. Do whatever God is telling you. Because it's not always about you. And when you pray, know that it's done. That's faith. Know that it is done, and you will recognize it when you see it. You don't have to know it beforehand. You'll recognize it when you see it. My daughter recognized this junk man was the answer to her prayers. She recognized because he was saying exactly what she was looking for. Okay? That's what we know. So let me give you some final thoughts. A final quote. Contemplation is life itself, fully awake, fully active, and fully aware that it is alive to contemplate. It is a spiritual wonder. If a spontaneous awe at the sacredness of life, it is sacredness of life and of being. It is gratitude for life, for awareness, and for being. Contemplation, this meditation, what we do, discussing these things, it is a vivid realization of the fact that life and being in us proceed from us, from an invisible, transcendent, and infinitely abundant source. So all that we need is already here with us. That's all we need to know. That is what we do when we contemplate life and know we've already been here. We've done this before. We'll do it again. Spirit will do it again with us. Everything is sacred. There's a song we have done, right? Clay, everything is sacred when you do that. Well, I want to tell you guys, but I forgot. Everything is sacred, because it is. Life itself is reverent dedication to living fully. You don't need to live small. Live fully. Live out loud. Life is the dedication to knowing who you are. Who are you? What are you about? And show up as that. You have permission to show up as you, because you're the only one that can. You're the only one that can show up as you. So show up as you. You don't have to show up as somebody else. It doesn't matter what anybody else is saying. It matters what you say. It matters what resonates with you. Even everything I said this morning, if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. Let it go. It's not for you. But if it does, then that part's for you. That's all. That part is for you. Do know this. Know who you are and know what is possible for you through the use of I am. Do you know that when you say I am, you are invoking God to come and have you be that? So those words, I am, are strong. And it doesn't matter what you say behind the I am. If you say I am no good, that will be true for you. Do you understand that? If you say I am smart, that will be true for you. Whatever you say after the I am, you are invoking into your life. So watch your words. Watch your thoughts when you use I am. It's very, very powerful. So you are in the sacred season right now. You're always in it. You're always in it. Live like you know that life is precious, it's sacred, and it's perfect right now. And so it is.